Hey guys, Tony here. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be going through my process of what I look for in a prospectus of an IPO. We have one that we're going to be live streaming this week coming up for ticker symbol GLE. And if you kind of want to get in my mind and see what am I looking at when I'm evaluating which ones I'm going to play or not, this is the video for you. And we will see you in a couple days for the GLE IPO live stream. A couple of the usual risk disclosures. IPO trading has a lot of risk. IPO trading is kind of like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Some of them go up a considerable amount. Some of them trade flat and then go up in after hours. Some of them just go down. So I would urge all of you, if you're considering playing IPOs, don't put money in these IPOs that you're not willing to lose. GLE is available to purchase pre-IPO on Webull through the 28th, and the expected IPO date is the 29th, this Friday. I will put a link to the prospectus in the video description, and I encourage you always to read through the entire thing. Sometimes reading through these can be the difference in deciding whether or not you want to participate in the IPO. And a lot of IPOs that come up, after reading through the prospectus, I opt not to participate. This prospectus has two important pieces that we need to pay attention to: the public offering prospectus and the resale prospectus. The IPO is for 3 million shares, expected to be offered between $4 and $5 per share. But if you just stopped reading right there, you're going to miss out on some key information. So we're going to talk about the resale offering as well in this brief video. I have read through almost this entire thing, and I'm not going to spend 20 minutes with you going through a deep dive on a prospectus for a company which we plan on being out of the first day. I look through the financials, make sure that the company's profitable, understand the legal structure of the company and what the offering actually is. And then we cross our fingers and pray for some good luck on the price action when it launches. To be clear, this is not investing. This is speculating. Also, some people would call it gambling. It does require a bit of luck, and there is a lot of risk. We know that it's going to be 3 million shares. We know that you can buy it right now on Webull, as it says here, between $4 and $5 is going to be the expected price. You'll know when you get assigned exactly what they charge you. But the other things to know is that currently outstanding shares are 16 million. And with this 3 million IPO, that will bring the outstanding shares to 19 million. So we're going to talk about who owns those 16 million, and what about that resale prospectus that you need to know as well. Scrolling all the way down to the very bottom of this filing, we can find the details on the resale, and that is going to be an additional 1.92 million shares sold by shareholders named in the prospectus, and the company will not receive any of the proceeds from that 1.92 million shares. So these are going to be existing investors in the company of those 16 million shares, and they're going to have the ability to sell 1.92 million of their holdings into the open market at any point after the IPO launches. That's something you want to be aware of, because if you're going into this thinking it's just going to be a free float of 3 million shares, well, I got another thing for you to think about. It's going to be 3 million plus possibly another 1.92, depending on when these investors decide to sell. And in my brain, I'm just going to assume that they're probably going to sell them on the first day, maybe even right out of the gate. A lot of that is going to depend on the price action and what is going to happen with GLE in the first couple of days. A lot of these Hong Kong IPOs can end up being pump and dumps, and we've seen massive increases in price on some of these, and maybe they're waiting for that. I really don't know. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but you do need to be aware that 1.92 million shares will also be available to be sold into the market. Who are these investors? Elite Trade Developments Limited and Excel Elite Developments Limited, 960,000 shares each. If there are existing shares already for a company when they do an IPO, you'll find a table like this, the principal shareholders, and it will tell you who are the large shareholders in the company. So of the 16 million shares that are issued and outstanding right now, we can see that there are 5 executives that hold the bulk of those shares, and then another half dozen or so principal shareholders that own more than 5%. And I highlighted for you the 2 that we talked about just a second ago in the resale prospectus. Those 2 have the ability to sell some or all of their holdings as soon as the IPO launches. And as we can see from the details of the offering itself, there is a lockup period here for all of those insiders other than the 2 that were mentioned in the resale. A lockup period of 6 months that they have to hold on to those 16 million shares. That is all I'm going to go over with you on GLE. If you want to know more, I urge you to read through the prospectus. The link to that is in the video description. Please understand the risks. Don't put more money in an IPO launch than you're willing to lose. You never know what is going to happen. Sometimes we make money with these, sometimes we don't. As I said in the beginning, these pre-IPO shares are available on Webull. If you have a Webull account, I'm sorry, I have not checked any other brokers, so I can't tell you if you can buy it pre-IPO anywhere else. I will see you guys on the 29th, and let's cross our fingers that this IPO launches on the date that they tell us. Keep in mind, sometimes they do push them out a few days. If that happens, then we will reschedule the IPO live stream for the date that it gets moved to. But as of right now, we're planning on seeing you on the 29th. I am Tony Denaro. I will see you on the next video.